Well, season 2. Here it is.
Whoop, here it is.
Did you think when I asked you to be my co-host in that coffee shop if, we'd be here at season 2 already?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, all right. And you always say this, but like mad. This is season 2, people.
I know.
Season bloody 2.
I know.
Well, we thought, we started season 1 with us. We ended season 1 with us. Why not start season 2 with us as well?
And do you know what? People have actually said that they quite like us just having a chat.
Yeah.
They might be lying. And it was my mum, but...
Hey, she's a committed fan, she is. Comments on all our stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, all right. Well, we started...
Do you know what? It's actually been pretty much 3 months to the day since we last recorded, and I just can't get my head around
3 months?
Yeah, December.
Wow.
It was like December the 14th, I think we recorded episode 10.
Oh, yeah, we wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and everything.
Yeah.
And we did the reflection, didn't we?
Yeah, the same week or the week after.
We did, actually,
so it's literally been 3 months.
Wow.
I know.
It feels like we haven't left.
I know, it doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's back where we belong.
We had a bit of a stressful time leading up to this, the film of this
we've just had a bit of a stressful few months.
Oh, we'll delve into that later on, I'm sure. Yeah, both started back with training with Six Nations. So, yeah, day 1 today. Obviously, it won't be day 1 when you listen to this episode, but...
In my head, yeah, it'll actually be day after day. But, yeah... In my head, I was like, today's a chill day. We've got a bit of admin in the morning.
You had a late start.
Yeah.
I was in half 8. You were in 10.
I was up. I was doing work. Don't you worry about that.
Do my affirmations.
Yeah. No, I was doing check-ins, actually, if you must know. But I was like, a bit of skills in the afternoon, bit of gym. Nah. I literally finished training at 4:20, and I was like, I need to be at the studio by 5.
We are so late.
Honestly, I was...
We are late.
And the whole time when I was running, I was thinking...
I know. I was actually leaving training and I was like, God, Gwen's
I'm still running. I know.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I have done a terrible thing and not prepared and packed my stuff. I had to go home.
I actually can't believe you did that. When you said...
I know.
When you said, I didn't bring my stuff, I was like... You knew that we were going straight here from training.
If you don't laugh about it, you'll cry. And at the time, I was like, well, it's not about me stressing about it, is it? Because if I stress about it, then I'm the only one getting stressed. So
the only one that it's going to affect is me. It's me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But we've made it. Here we are.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 1. Oh, yeah.
Right, okay. Let's start off. How's the last 3 months been for Ffion Lewis?
I mean, how honest do we want to be on episode
I think
1?
the whole premise of the podcast is honesty.
5 minutes in, or...
Oh, God,
gosh, where do I start? Well...
Do you have a nice Christmas?
No, actually.
Hey, we had a party.
We did have a party. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was fun.
All of our guests, well, not all of them, but most of our guests and all of a lot of our supporters came to that.
Yeah.
It's kind of for us, we wanted to give
and
thank
real
you.
spread as well. The buffet was
I'm
quite
sorry,
phenomenal.
that needs to be a side hustle.
Picture.
Because the spread we
with
put on.
everything else.
Yes.
All the side.
Shush.
Sorry.
Secret. Stay tuned. The spread was unreal. Fiducia saw myself.
Yeah.
We absolutely smashed that.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah, that was cool. And then just to be honest, it's all just blended into one big blur because my life's just the same every day at the moment. Turn up to training, be there for hours, go home, eat, sleep,
be really tired.
Cuddle the dog, sleep, wake up, train all day. I was just giving
Yeah.
But, well, still injured, everyone. Still injured. The knee's still injured. Still, my ACL. Before you say it, your ACL's intact. I know.
To be fair,
my
our
ACL
is the graft would have healed by now. It's good to
but
go.
yeah, we're still. I think. Yeah, it's been a big, maybe the last week or so, but really realisation of where I'm at. I don't think I've taken into account the severity or the consequence of the damage I had and also 3 operations.
Yeah.
Doesn't do that good for a person.
In a short space of time.
Yeah,
as well.
and I think the athlete in me was like, oh, I'm running now, I'll be fine. Mm-hmm. I'm fine, I'm in the gym, I'm training all the time, it'll just come back. Brilliant. Unfortunately... It doesn't work like that for a long-term injury. Like I said, especially on the back of 3 operations. So That's been tough. Obviously, well, we'll get into you in a minute, but like seeing all my ACL club members fly the nest, and I still to the same thing.
We do keep checking in though. Just
yeah, I know. But I think it's really difficult not to compare. I think we've spoken about that a lot in season 1, but I think I find that really hard because I'm like, I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. But obviously looking back, you know, like I share every month, try to share every month of like the milestones I've made in the month, like on my Instagram and stuff and through reels, because I like looking back at them because it makes me realise, okay, this is the stuff I wish I was doing like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But I think as an athlete, when you're continually looking at what's next and the next goal and like everything's achievement based, that nothing's good enough because you're not there yet.
Yeah, it's so easy, especially I think when you get to the end of a rehab journey. Like in the beginning, it's almost easier to celebrate the small wins because it's literally all you've got.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't walk and now I can walk. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I did the bar.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But when you get to the end and like
it's the important stuff, isn't it? It's
and
like
the things that
really
you're doing,
crucial stuff, like numbers in the gym, like certain, like you've got to be able to jump a certain percentage and like all this kind of stuff. You've got to cover a certain amount of distance on the field, like running and things like that. And when you haven't done those things for a very long time, like I hadn't run for like 8 months. Like my body's like, what are you doing? Like, bitch, what the fuck? You need to stop that shit right away because we've not done this for 8 months and we don't like it. It's basically what my body was telling me.
I think also is like when you get to the end, like towards the end, or for example, like with your running and your gym and all that kind of thing, like you've been working really hard at them for a long time. So there is a level where it goes, you know, you go from 0 to 100 and you go up and up and up and up. And then eventually it is going to plateau. And then that actually like feels worse, even though you're not getting any worse. It feels like, well, I'm not getting better, so you know.
Yeah, and I think like if I'm talking individually, like I've had so many setbacks, I think I've lost count, that now
I think it's about 482
million. That like I'm like so fed up with it, and I think I've really struggled the last few weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh, how much more can a girl take?
Yeah.
That like, and it's hard when you're seeing everybody else. Like, obviously, I'm really happy for everybody else, but it's like I want that to be me too, and especially around a time around Six Nations where that's what, even with all the setbacks, that's what I've held on to be like, I don't want to lose sight of the goal. You know, we always had a conversation on the back end of Six Nations, like potentially being fit for it, and that's, you know, not technically possible now. And that's hard because it's like, okay, what's my purpose now, or what's my goal? Because even in the really dark days, you know, like you don't want to do the 50 million sets of rehab. You tell yourself you're doing it for, you know, you're like, come on, you know. And then now it's like, all right, well, what am I holding on to, or like, what's my goal, if that makes sense? So yeah, not easy, but you know, still chipping away.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah, but on a positive note, Gwen is now a rugby player, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was that for you?
Well, if we go back to when before my game, in all honesty, I was absolutely bricking it.
Yeah, you were very anxious for a week, weren't you?
Like I'm a relatively anxious person anyway, but I've learned to deal with it. Like I try to rationalize all my anxiety in the day-to-day life, but that week I was just
really surprised me actually, because I think you've been so confident throughout your rehab because you've been through it before. Yeah. With your first ACL, you were like, and obviously the back of your ankle. Yeah. Like you like, I know what I'm doing. I own my shit, whatever. And it did surprise me that that's how you felt, because until that stage, that week before, I felt like she's so confident and she's so ready.
I think it was just, it hit me like a ton of bricks, to be honest. And I was like, okay, like I was confident in my rehab and I knew I was like in the best physical position that I could be in. And in the back of my mind, I did have like, I came back fine from my first ACL and my rehab was nowhere near the level that it was this time. But I just think I ruminated the thoughts. I was like, I think for me, the incidents of my ACL kept just replaying in my head and I couldn't get rid of it. And then I was also thinking like, what if I feel out of place? What if I'm behind play? And then one thought led to another and it just kept going round and round. And I just felt like a nervous energy around me. And then what I found is when I went into training on the Monday, everyone's like, oh, this week's the week, isn't it? It's the week. And then
everyone's added into it.
At first, I was like, oh, yeah. And then by like the 10th person, I was like, yeah. And
they got to you then. So everyone else was probably not helping. Like,
yeah, and I was like, oh my
thoughts
gosh,
into your head.
And I think because it wasn't just coming back from 9 months of ACL, it was the ankle before. And I think for me, I was playing on the fact that, oh my gosh, imagine if I come back this time and the same thing happens and I get injured again. I didn't want to feel the same embarrassment. I did it because I was so embarrassed when I did my ACL. Like, in hindsight, stupid to be embarrassed, but I think because I'd like almost hyped it myself, I was like, I can't believe this has happened. Like, how has this happened? So I was trying to avoid that.
Well, I was celebrating when she got past the stone mark
the 6 minutes. And then, so training, I was making little mistakes and stuff all week because I was just not myself. I had this like tension headache all week. And then I was like...
Your brain's constantly on,
Genuinely, like, it was just like a constant... I couldn't concentrate. Like, it was really weird. And I've not ever experienced anything like that before. The day before, so on the Friday, I was in a coffee lab across the road. And I just like... I was trying to do a bit of work and distract myself, but I just could not concentrate. And so I just cried in the car on the way home and then was just like on the sofa for the rest of the day, just like... it was just weird, really weird.
Did you question whether you were like mentally ready?
No, I didn't question whether I was ready. It was more a case of like, I'm just going to have to find a coping mechanism to get over this. And luckily then when it came to like game day, I was actually okay. But I had to get up really early and go at like 6 a.m. because we were away. And
when
it was
you
an
get
early
up at
kickoff.
6 a.m. on a good day, were you on about?
Okay, we had 5:30 actually to get up or whatever. And because of that, it distracted me. And then like obviously on the bus, so it was fine. We were like chatting to the girls and stuff. So that was all fine. And then first half, fine. Just kind of just like taking it all in, like, oh, this is all right. We were down at half time and I thought wasn't the plan because generally speaking, we went into that game confident that we were going to be, points up at half time or whatever. And we were actually 19-7 down, I think it was. And then as soon as half time hit, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going on like in like 10 or 15 minutes. And then it hit me and I was like, oh, I can't believe it. And then I just was constantly looking like, are they going to put me on? When am I going on? Like, it could be any minute.
Well, we were like, come on, bloody heck, Lenny,
and then I kept standing up, walking around, couldn't sit down.
Yeah, I know,
and
we were watching. We were like, she's getting up, she's coming on. Nope, she sat back down, bloody heck, man, Gwen.
And then when I got on the pitch, like, I didn't think about my knee at all, which is what hadn't really been a problem for the weeks leading into the game either. It was just like, I was just like, whoa, this is 100 miles an hour. Is this what rugby's like? Because I don't think I'm ready for rugby.
Fast forward, and now you've had bloody 80 minutes under your belt.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Yeah, good. I think after that first game, the second game, I played 60 minutes, started against Bristol. That was good. I also played on 4G that time, so that was like a tick box because obviously I did it on 4G. So I was like, I wanted to get that out the way. And I felt, that was probably when I felt like a rugby player again. And yeah, I enjoyed that a lot more than the week before because I was just less anxious generally. And then we were lucky that we played Sale twice. So it was like, almost like it made me feel more comfortable, especially the second time because I was like...
You already played them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it was good. And then obviously against Exeter, I hurt my other knee. And that was not fun.
It was not fun. It was not fun. You're like... Oh no!
Yeah,
well, I thought it was your hamstring to be first of all, and then I was like, oh, she's run a lot that week. Maybe she's a bit tight.
Yeah, and
then you were crying on the telly, and I was like, oh my god!
It just like it brought back like.
Yeah,
I don't know. At first, when I did it, I was like, "Oh."
People who listen to this probably don't know that you hurt your knee.
No, I know.
You kind of just slipped that in quietly.
Like,
well, you did hurt your knee.
I kept it on down low,
Sorry,
but, I kept it on the down low.
It's a big part of this honesty.
Yeah, I kept it on the down low, but I have made a reel. But it's not gone up yet.
Really DL.
Yeah. Really DL.
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, I don't know. I did it, and they thought, oh, that's not right. Like I've done something there. I don't know what, but I've done something. And then I tried to run, and I couldn't run, so I just went down. And then when I went down, and the physios were like, "Take her off," and I heard one of the medical team say something about ACL, and I think that they were saying, oh. She just come back from her ACL or that I'd done it on this side before. But like I just spiraled and I was like, part of my brain was like, nah, that's not an ACL. Like, you know what an ACL feels like and that's not an ACL. But the other part of my brain was like, well, Fion's was innocent. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just a little twist.
Oh no, I've just dislocated, guys. I'll do it right now.
But do you know? So you can't actually tell. So
no, that
then
stupid
obviously
test they do. They do this stupid test. Should be banned. This stupid test that they pull your knee forward and back
Yeah,
and
it's
all
fine.
sides to side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. You
not
ain't
fine.
fine. It's completely ruptured. Actually, you've done everything else
I
in there
reckon
as well.
anyone listening to this that's ever done an ACL would be like,
Yeah,
preach it.
what she says.
And I came off, and then I was just, I was going through an absolute emotional roller coaster. One minute I was like, it's fine, just get a scan, we'll see what. Next minute, oh, do you know what? I might just retire. I can't do this anymore.
No, please give the speech of what you were thinking about. You of like all the different things you're going to be going to.
In my head, right? I was like, retired. I was on media teams. I was running half marathons. I was doing comms on the Six Nations. This is genuinely what my brain. I think it's like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, it's all right. I've got something to fall back on.
Yeah, like I just try. Like in the moment, I was like, if this is an ACL, I don't know actually how much more. Like if I can do it again, and of course I can do rehab again. That's not a problem. I actually quite enjoy rehab. It's psychologically coming back from another injury. Like just. Oh, it's just so hard for me. Like, I just really struggle with, like, negative thoughts of re-injury. Yeah. Even when I'm, like, logically, I'm not going to get re-injured.
Yeah.
But then my brain goes, oh, you might, though.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get over. And that was probably fed a lot into that first week when I was playing again. And I think now that, like, it's been, like, a week or so since I did my knee, and it's gotten significantly better quickly. By the way, everyone, it's fine. They just said that there's a bit of a mess in there from before, but yeah, there's nothing that a bit of tape can't fix, which is good news.
Yeah. I think it's just a mental thing for you, isn't it? It's like, okay, yeah, my knee's fine, but for you, it's like, okay, I've got to go into it knowing that I'm coming back from another knee. Yeah, and also I spoke to Dale about this. I thought Dale's got another mention. Oh, shock.
About how it's basically now this campaign is mirroring the week before I did my knee. So like essentially I could be back in full training for test week, and then if I'm selected, then it's almost like feels like a rush, which is exactly what happened for my ankle. And obviously it's the same pitch, like all of that kind of stuff. It's the first time I'm playing on Cardiff Farms Park.
Well, Dale, you better be available every single day, mate.
But I think I've already started to rationalise that and be like, I can't think like that, because one, it's not the same injury. Two, I've been through a whole 9 months of rehab, like
I think
tailored for the knee.
I think you're a completely different person now to what you were a year ago, and like you say, you think completely differently, and the experiences you've had over the last year through rehab and whatever has really shaped your mind in a completely different way.
Yeah, 100%. And interestingly enough, like although my brain started to spiral into this negative, I'm retired and running half marathons kind of thing.
Well, I turned up to a house. She said herself like, I'm retired. I was like, oh, fucking hell.
Although it started to do that, when I came off, I didn't think, oh my God, I'm going to miss the Six Nations. Oh my God, people are going to think X, Y, and Z, which obviously a year ago I did think that way. I was like, I'm going to miss this, I'm going to miss that. It all in my head was like, I really hope that I don't have to have an operation, and that I can control this without going through that process again and losing all my independence. And I think that says a lot about like what realizing what can I control. Like I just wanted to be healthy and like be able to function, and then the next focus was on playing games rather than the immediate focus being like, oh, I can't play next week, and now I can't play the Six Nations, because
it's probably what the place I'm in, to be fair, because I'm the phase I'm in, knowing that now, like being told, okay, yeah, you're probably not gonna be fit for Six Nations. It's like, oh my God, all right, what now then? And I think being so, like, I suppose not narrow-minded, but like a tunnel vision is probably the better way to describe it in this rehab process, because it's like, okay, we're trying to achieve something that's quite impossible. We've got a really limited amount of time to get everything in. That like when that gets taken away, you're like, oh my God, all that energy and drive that you've had, and you use every day. Okay, like what now?
So, do you feel like you're still in that, like, what now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't figured out the what now yet?
No, because I feel like I'm like, okay, like even like today, obviously day one of Six Nations training, I'm like, okay, where's my place here now then? Because it's different when you're injured, returning. Yeah. Because you need the contact time, you need to be involved, you need to run things. But when I'm not going to be in it at all, I'm going to be taking someone else's place that needs to be getting the reps over me, or like, and it's like, Yeah, it's a tough one because it's like, okay, yeah, where do you fit in that sense? And you don't want to be in the way, and
But you do
whatever.
also need to realise that you're still part of the team.
Yeah, I know.
And you're
but
a big part of the team.
yeah, but I
So-
think when you're
And you can
When you've
also
gone
help the
from-
younger girls, for example, as well.
yeah,
Do you know
and
what I mean?
that is on it's on my sheet actually. It's on my sheet.
It's on my sheet,
Positive
actually.
influence, help the young girls on us. But I mean, like, as in when you've been in the mindset of like, okay,
I'm
like
gonna
last
play.
week
Yeah.
I was going to be in training. I would have
Yeah.
trained today. I would have been on feet. I would have been running around. Like, got shin splints now, everyone, to add to my list of issues.
So if
like,
anyone's got any good remedies for shin splints,
or
please
shin
do
transplant or anything, please. My
you
left
imagine?
shin would love it. It's just the one shin. It's meant to be my good leg. It's so annoying. It's such a stupid thing. Shin splints, like, anyway. But yeah.
Don't get it started.
Oh yeah, I'll slag the shin off till tomorrow.
Slag the shin. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Slag the shin. But yeah, it's just and obviously last week to this week has changed drastically, and all of a sudden now I'm not in team training and I'm not doing this and not doing that, blah 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 blah. But yeah, it is like a bigger picture thing, and I'm trying to be like, okay, in the long run it'll be better and it's safer for me and probably healthier for my body. I have dragged my body through
Bush.
yeah backwards
twice.
to try and make it possible to try and be fit. And we knew it was going to be hard, but unfortunately, it's not meant to be.
But it also doesn't take away from all the hard work and effort that you've put in thus far.
Yeah, I know. And like, even when I like posted my 10-month video, I was like looking back at stuff and I was like, oh my God, this is actually mental. Because I think because I couldn't do any of that stuff for so long,
Yeah.
I like didn't even think I was going to be able to do that stuff again.
Yeah.
And then seeing it now, I'm like, oh my God, that's actually me. And like,
yeah.
I try to be better at being like proud of myself or give myself gratitude because I'm really bad at it.
It is your
like
work on,
it is.
yeah.
God, I'm terrible for it. Like I don't sell as much as I tell everybody else to celebrate little wins and stuff. I struggle to. I do it,
Yeah.
but like the negatives or like the things I didn't do, or not even I didn't do. If something I deem, I don't know, didn't squat
failure
enough
or
didn't run fast enough, like I'm always looking like my just standards and stuff is just too high, which is kind of tough in rehab because one day I could be like on top of the world doing everything and the next day I might not be able to run, and it's like the complete opposite, the up and down of the emotions of like the roller coaster that I'm on.
Another thing also that has fed into that over the last few months is your endo.
Oh God, flipping heck, forgot about that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm listening to you talk about it, and I'm thinking there is that other thing as well.
God.
You know, that thing that makes you really fatigued, which probably is the reason
partial one
why
reason,
the
yeah.
highs are high and the lows are low,
Really low, yeah.
low.
Oh my gosh, my endo, flipping heck. What a joke. Who came up with that disease?
I know. It's not fair.
It's so not fun. It's so not fun. And like, I've had times over the last few weeks where I've really contemplated whether like I'm going to be able to do my job. I was literally like, I had the worst flare up like 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. Like the first time in front of people were like,
That was literally a week ago.
okay, a week
About
ago.
a week ago.
Was it a week ago?
I'm all over these like things today. And I'm singing songs, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a week ago today.
Oh, there we
fairly
are then,
sure.
a week ago. I can't even keep track.
Time flies.
But yeah, that was the first time I had a flare in the middle of a session, like in front of people. It was like down the field, like there was a few of us training, there's quite a few staff, and like in the middle of running session, I just had it was, I must say, the worst flare thing I've ever had because it went on for so long. The pain, the intensity of the pain was, I can't even describe how painful it was, and the level of it, the duration of the level of that pain, it was ridiculous. Like
You said
I
you
was
felt like
rolling.
you were never going to
yeah, I
not
thought I
be
was
in
going
the
to die
pain.
at one point. And I was like, I'm going to be in hospital now. Like,
Yeah.
like I just thought the pain was not going to end, and now those were the thoughts going through my head. I was like, the pain's not going to stop. I'm going to be in hospital. Like, there's a portaloo. Normally, I run to the toilet if I'm in a building having a flare. I was like, I need to get to this portaloo, but I actually can't get up off the ground. Like, I got on all fours, and I was like, I can't even move. Like, it just when you're in the middle of a flare, it just takes control of your entire body.
Yeah.
And like, I felt really exposed because, like I said, it was in front of people, and I've never had that before.
Immediately after, didn't you, that you felt embarrassed about
Yeah.
it, and we were all like,
Yeah, I
don't
think
feel embarrassed, and that's easy for us to say, right? Because we're not the ones going through
Yeah,
it, and we're just being like, we're here to do whatever we can to help you.
I think the embarrassment comes from like worrying that people don't believe me, even though when I actually think about it, considering what I'm displaying on the ground.
I mean, you're not that good of an actress.
Thank you. No, but I'm like, but that unfortunately is the way my brain, like, I'm rolling around like that, and my brain still tells me that I'm worried that people don't believe this. And I think it's because if I said to my physio, for example, like, oh, my knee's sore, I wouldn't doubt that she wouldn't believe me, because she'd be able to see the way I'm moving.
It's a bit swollen, or you're limping.
But with my belly, I just don't know, I feel completely different about it. I think it's because obviously it is quite still an unknown territory with endo, where like,
especially within sport.
Yes, 100%. So like that's thing. It's an everyday learning thing, and also because it's so internal. Like
only you can feel it.
Yeah, and also you have to go off what I'm saying, and I just worry that, you know. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, you have some individuals in the team that, you know, their calf's a bit tight when it gets a bit hard, and like when fitness gets difficult. And I get stressed.
How convenient.
I know.
I once did that on a bleep test as a kid.
Shush, Jesus Christ. And I get stressed that's that people could view that to be me.
Yeah.
And I've never done that before, but like, yeah, it's tough. And yeah, I think the endo has been really like I don't know, it's been controlling a lot of what I'm doing at the moment, a lot of my training. Like every time I was doing a running session, I was flaring.
Which adds completely into the mix of like, if it's not your shin, it's your endo. And then that's like lack of consistency, but through no fault of your own. Like you're doing everything you can to control all those things.
Yeah, but that's the tough part, because I have no control in a sense. Like if I'm doing everything I can to control it, but then at the same time, I can't control like the only thing I can control is maybe not working as hard, and I would not do that because in my head, my athlete brain's going, you need to get fitter.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I wonder, this is just like a little, like slightly off piece, but like I wonder if you did like a lower intensity, but for like longer durations, or across like, say instead of a 4-week block, it's a 6-week block, so your volume across 6 weeks is the same, but it's like slightly less intensity. But this is just a completely theoretical thing. Well, to stop that max exertion, like that's what's going to trigger a flare.
The issue was I came off my pill, which was I was on because to slow the growth of my endo, and I was having like negative symptoms with it, so I came off it, and then obviously that then spiraled my periods to start again, and my whole cycle and everything in my stomach was starting to work again and whatever, so it kind of sent me into like this inflammation like
phase.
And then all of a sudden I was flaring all the time. So now,
and that's not something you've experienced really
not having over the last, and obviously like the difference is I obviously came off my pill at a time where my training started to get more intense, because I was running more, my volume was going up, so all those things don't help. And usually, like, before, I'd be having a flare or, like, really intense bike sessions where they're really short burst, intense stuff, and the same with running. I've never really had a flare of, like, you know, like, plod running, like, you know, running over for, like, a minute or whatever, and that's what started to happen. And, like, my worst flare wasn't anything... It was hard, obviously hard, but, like, but it was just continuous running rather than, like, really aggressively intense. So it just got to a point where like everything was flaring me. And then obviously post flare, I'd have a whole day of training left to go, and I have no energy. Like, you know, I've got to go maximally lift in the gym when I literally look like a zombie. And my physio is
Don't speak to Ffion when she looks like a zombie. It's a bad idea.
My physio is quite reassuring, because she's like, you can't fake that fatigue. You know, we see it in you and stuff. And they've been so supportive. Like, you know, the S&C that's, you know, in charge of my like all of my gym programming and everything at the moment, he's like reading this big piece on endo at the moment, like this big paper. I know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know, Jamie. I know. He's reading a big paper on endometriosis at the moment. He was coming in telling me stuff.
Oh, that's really good.
I know, and he was like, you know,
we need more men like that in the world.
Well, yes, we do. But I said, I was like really thankful. I was like, thank you. You don't need to do it. He's like, yeah, I do need to do. Well, you do need to do it. Yeah, fair enough. But he like.
It's going above and beyond, isn't it?
And like learning to understand that, like, you're programming for someone that's got this condition, and then you're doing stuff that's
I think it's as well. It's like potentially about having a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Well, today, funny enough, he was like, I haven't got a plan for A, B, C, and D, and E.
What's E? E sounds terrible. We don't want E to happen.
We've got a plan for every possible thing that could go wrong. But one thing I think Mr. Griffiths touched on in episode 4
Good
in
memory.
season 1. Thank
You said your memory was getting worse.
It is getting worse. It's part of the brain fog that I've got from this condition. But there's like a link to pain. So like I was always getting so frustrated because I was like, right, if it's not my knee hurting, it's my belly. If it's not my belly, it's my shin. They all don't hurt at the same time. They all like take it in turns. There's like
It's your turn today.
Yeah, literally. He's like, I've had enough now. You knee, you have one.
Who was that? Was that indoor?
That
or
was
was
the
that
shin. That was.
What does
And
knee
then
sound
he's
like?
all right, no worries. Like that's the
Like a
slag, you know.
princess.
Like no worries. Okay, I'll take it today. Okay. And then the belly's like. The belly's like, all right, yeah, all right, give it to me. I'll take the belly pain today.
Sorry,
The belly's from the rhonda, the back of beyond of the valleys.
This is why we don't do impressions with Ffion.
No, I did do an impression of Gwen and she wouldn't let me air it, so.
Well, we know that. We know why.
But yeah, there's a link to pain where you become more sensitive when you got a pain condition. You become sensitive to pain, so things that could be quite inflamed or whatever, like is
You
a
feel it a lot
reactive
more.
pain response. Yeah. It's just what else in there? Keep chucking it at me, go on, dare you?
All right, then.
And then now I'm off feet with my stupid chin, so it's like, oh, go away, man.
The one positive is you're really good at off-feet sessions now.
Thank you.
Really, really good at them.
Thank you so much.
I think that is one thing that's a superpower of the ACLers. Like this week, obviously, I've gone back to off-feet for like a couple of days, and I was doing it, and I was like, it's not doing anything to my lungs.
Honestly, I felt a difference in my lungs.
Yeah.
It's just the issue at the moment is my legs because
Yeah.
my legs haven't had that
They
capacity.
burn out quick.
Yeah, like I found that with running. Like I've noticed, like, oh my god, my lungs are fine.
Yeah.
My legs just don't work. But I think it's because they haven't been used for a very
Yeah,
long
it's
time.
like, okay, you build the muscle, you build the strength, but it's like the muscle having the ability to keep going and going and going, which is, I mean, it's quite necessary for rugby, isn't it? Let's be real.
I know, but I think that's something I've had to
so intense.
learn to be realistic with. To be like, endurance doesn't happen overnight. So like, you didn't run for 8 months.
Rome
So
was
how
not
could
built
you?
in a day.
You're doing it again. I'm still speaking, Glenn. Oh my God. And I'm really irritable because I'm the week out from my period, and she keeps talking over me. I can't remember what I was saying now.
Brain fog.
Yeah, I actually can't remember what I was saying.
You were saying
No, I can't
endurance doesn't
remember.
come overnight.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Well, you just finished my sentence anyway. Anyway, honestly, I think I'm gonna be diagnosed with dementia soon because I can't remember anything.
Right, cut that out. Can't say that.
Oh, I just can't remember stuff. I think because my brain's always on.
Are you taking omega-3s? They'll help.
I've taken immunity
Omega-3s.
and vitamin D.
Omega-3s. That's not... You're not listening.
No, what's in omega-3s?
It's omega-3.
Oh, it's not like different vitamins all in
No,
one.
it is omega-3.
All
like
right.
Fishy, like fish oils.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's not part of my...
Okay, we'll start taking omega-3 because
I
it's
hope
really
George
good for
doesn't
brain
listen to this.
function. Really good.
Oh, there we are then.
Yeah. I think creatine's actually meant to be good for brain
Well,
function.
I take enough of that.
Yeah,
so
I know. But maybe the omega-3s
It's
as
working
well.
in my shoulders, ain't working in my brain. PB'd on my bench today, everyone.
Working in my shoulder.
Just letting
Did
you all
you?
know.
Oh, wait, you did, yeah. 70
You
for 3.
high-fived me.
I did high-five you.
Yeah,
That's strong.
For
That's strong
it's
for
not
a
bad,
little
is
nine,
it?
that is.
A little 9 ain't little. Thank you.
That's strong for a 9.
Well, yeah, it's the most it's not my PB ever, but it's the most I've lifted in this rehab period.
In this re-fee.
Yeah.
It's like
I remember I used to do like
remake
7
Ffion.
sets of bench.
Well, so you were stronger like earlier in your rehab or not? Or
No,
pre-injury?
I actually haven't lifted this weight before in my rehab. So
Oh, nice.
I was stronger. I can't even remember when it was, but I have lifted more before. Not a 72.5 for 2.5. I didn't complete
Oh,
the
okay.
third rep.
So it's
I'm
actually
not
there
far
or
off.
thereabouts.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
actually
yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
So
Good
it's
job.
not bad.
Good job.
Yeah,
My
trying-
bench is terrible at the minute.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna check my phone.
Oh, you do that. You do that. I was on charge.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Show everyone your little pop thingy on the back of your phone.
All right. Zoom into that, motherfucker.
Why have you got to swear?
Sorry,
all
I'll
the
do that again.
time? Was there anything interesting
right.
on your phone?
Zoom into that.
Was there anything interesting on your phone?
Yes, it was our next guest actually.
Oh, ooh. All right, then in that case, do you want to ask me a question?
Already?
Well, is the next guest here? What? What did the guest say?
Well,
This is Ffion, everyone who cannot multitask whatsoever.
It's because I need to speak to you, but then I'll end up writing down what I'm saying.
I do that all the time. I'm having a conversation,
I'm
texting, and then I'm like, "Oh wait, I just typed what I said."
Right. See an outro. Coffee. Bye. Okay.
That was aggressive.
Shut up, Gwen. Oh, we have to cut all that crap out because all that we just said was nonsense.
It's quite funny though.
Right. So, if you guys remember,
Taking it way back
to our end of season traditions in season
End of
1.
episode
Gwen,
traditions.
I'm speaking.
But you said end of
Rein it
season
in.
traditions, and that's not true.
All right, well, I could have corrected myself.
No, you wouldn't
Do
have,
you
though.
want to say the speech? Because at the moment, do you want to just...
No, you crack on. I was just correcting you.
Episode 1 is with Gwen and Gwen only. All right. As Gwen, corrected me, end of episode tradition where the guest would leave a question for the next guest, but not know who they're leaving them for. So, if you all remember, I was episode 10, and in case you didn't know, I left a question for the guest on episode 1. And
That's me.
here we are. So, Gwen,
I don't know what you wrote.
I was just about to say that. You don't even know what I've written
I
down.
don't. Oh gosh. Right. Wise brain. Go.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. What do you want your future to look like?
That's big, isn't it? Where do I begin? Well, I want a Defender. So, Land Rover, if you're listening, anyone who works for
She
Land
wants
Rover.
to get married in about 3 months'
That's
time.
not true.
It's
6,
true.
actually.
Oh,
You teed me up there.
God.
Okay, what do I want my future to look like?
Yeah,
When you say future, how far into the future are we thinking?
just says future.
I know, but you wrote it, so how far? Because there's future, isn't it, in a year, and
Oh
there's
my
future
God,
in
she
10
goes
years.
short, long term, medium goals.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went short, long, medium. Why should I go short, medium, long? Yeah, your future, all right. Just, your future.
Okay, well, in terms of rugby, I like my rugby career. I think that's probably changed in the last year or so. Where I want to do, because I've always been like, I want to, like, if I don't get 50 caps, I'm a failure. If I don't make 4 World Cups, I fail. Like, that's where I was at before I went through this injury period. I think now I just want to play for as long as I can, as healthily as I can. And I've started to think more long term. Like, I also want to be able to be fit and active and go and play badminton and do whatever I want, like post rugby. Do you know what I mean?
Badminton.
I love badminton.
Come on, babe.
But like, do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to go and play social sport, be able to go run a half marathon. Do you know what I mean? And I think that is something genuinely that I do think about now, because I'm 24 and my knees don't feel 24, and it's kind of sad because you need your knees to do most things.
You do need your knees.
Yeah. So I think, in terms of like rugby, it's just to play for as long as I can and feel good about playing. And enjoy it for as long as I can. And then externally from rugby, I'd like to own a gym with a coffee shop, which you're going to run.
Pardon.
Yeah. And I'd like to continue to like use my experiences to help other people.
That's nice.
Whether that be through this podcast, through going and speaking in schools and things like that, or actually like doing coaching and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that.
Is there a dog in your future?
Oh, 100%. I haven't got to that bit.
Right, sorry.
Okay. Am I allowed to mention Harry now? Is that a thing? Sorry, but I've done really well. Well, we were speaking the other day about our top...
Harry's a boyfriend, everyone, in case nobody knows.
We were
He's all over Instagram.
We were talking about dog
It's all over her
breed.
phone wallpaper.
Sorry, I'm talking.
She talks about him all the time.
You're on my
I
phone
love him, I
wallpaper
miss
too.
him so much. Oh my God, he's been a day. I love him. Sorry.
We were talking about our top 3 dog breeds.
Hope
And
Molly's
like
on there.
trying... Huh?
Hope Molly's top one.
No, yeah, not top 3 dogs. It was top 3 dog breeds that we wanted to get.
Bernedoodle.
I do like a Bernedoodle, yeah, I will admit. And then we were like, so Harry really wants a Vizsla.
No.
He really wants a Vizsla.
I'm gonna have to have a word.
But I think we're going to get 3.
Sorry, what?
I said, how funny would it be if we got 3 dogs, all different breeds at the same time?
Oh, I thought you meant 3 visitors.
No, 3 dogs. I want a border collie. That's a non-negotiable.
Oh,
Like I've always, like since we got my family dog Button, he's just so good. He's the goodest boy, and
Cute.
Marley's the goodest girl.
Thank you.
And
She basically looks like a border collie.
and then the third one was up for debate, but we were thinking a working Springer Spaniel.
Nice. I was thinking Spaniel.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
yeah. But we just send each other dog reels. I send you dog reels a lot as well.
Correct.
But to be honest with you, I just love dogs, and I really want one now, but it's not realistic, so I need to. So yes, in answer to your question, dogs are in the future, and I'd also like to go to New Zealand. Oh, play for the Lions.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
I'd like
is
to do
in
that
the
as well.
that is in the goals.
So if my knee can sort its life out, I'd like to do that.
Well, it's got 3 years.
Can I be 50 at that
Jokes.
point?
I mean, the World Cup's next year as well. So,
yes.
but yeah, that's a really good
question.
yeah, and I think generally the main thing is whatever happens in the future, I want to inspire like the younger version of myself.
What do you want to be remembered for then?
I think being myself and like not being afraid to just be myself, and like social media is a good tool to be able to show people the reality, I think.
Of who you are. And
Yeah, and I enjoy.
I don't think you're very real on social media. Like,
Thanks.
yeah, it's who you
I
are.
try, like, I want, like, if I make like a day in the life or like what I do here, blah blah blah, blah, like I want to make it as honest as possible, not like sugarcoating stuff. And
Yeah.
and I also think it's cool for like young girls to be able to see like, oh, a day in the life of a professional rugby player who's a woman. That's really cool. Like,
You wouldn't see that from a male, though, would you?
No, and I think I enjoy trying to get my personality across as well, because
Fair enough.
it's nice that I can try and help people with my personality, whereas something like we've spoken about previously in season 1, but like my personality was maybe something that I was picked on for,
Yeah.
whereas now it's something I can help other people by being myself.
That's one reason I picked you for the podcast. Because I like your personality.
What's the other reasons?
You like dogs?
I like dogs.
Yeah, that's why I was like, why is
Because
that?
we read each other's minds.
All right,
That was a funny laugh.
Sorry. I got you another one.
Oh, another one.
No, another one.
Another one.
I think you'll like this one. I think it might be very difficult for you. What is your death row 3-course meal?
Oh, I love this question. Okay, it does depend on the day. So I will just go with exactly what I'm feeling right now.
Okay, brilliant.
I would like a chicken wing roulette.
Oh.
And I would like to select the flavours as well. I would like a garlic and parmesan herb wing.
Right.
I would like a hoisin and sesame seed wing.
Right.
I would also like a buffalo wing. And then they can chuck a surprise one in there as well, but not too spicy.
Okay.
And then for my main course, I'm really enjoying steak at the minute. I just love steak. So a really nice rump steak, cooked medium rare, with a bucket of peppercorn sauce and triple cooked chips, and also, what else?
Garlic bread.
Probably some peas. I like peas with steak. Yeah, I like peas. And then for dessert, a warm chocolate fudge cake with Joe's ice cream. Specifically Joe's ice cream.
Bit offended you didn't say my own bakes, but whatever.
Well, God,
Whatever.
those cookies. Oh.
No, too late now. You said.
Can that be a
fudge cake.
side?
You said it.
All right. Okay. And then to drink,
You can have a drink, yes. Your death row meal.
I would quite like some cloudy raspberry lemonade.
Oh, nice. That's a strong choice. That is.
And just a glass of tap water.
Because it's free. We like to hydrate.
We do.
All right, brilliant.
Yeah. Give me yours.
All right. Right, my starter would be... It's a really good question, actually. I like a chicken tender and mozzarella stick. So you've got a little tapas, little bowl. Mozzarella
I don't know
stick.
if you count that as tapas.
and
It's not very Spanish.
and a chicken tender.
Sorry.
No, like a little...
No, I know. A little
like
share a
little
plate,
genre,
but
yeah.
told to yourself.
Yeah.
What did you just say? No.
No.
Just stop.
Anyway, and then I really like pulled pork or pulled chicken,
I like that one.
barbecue, loaded nachos, sour cream and chive.
Made by me?
Yes.
Yes.
And then for dessert, I like my own bakes because I'm a very good baker, everyone.
She's
Brownies or cookies, warm
cookies.
with ice cream. And then as a side dish, I want
Can I have one on the
chocolate.
weekend, please? Can you bring me a cookie?
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks.
Chocolate coated strawberries as a side dish. And then I'll also I'll have some chunky triple cooked chips on the side as well if I really want to. And then for a drink, I'll have a chocolate milkshake, some raspberry lemonade, and a tap water.
Oh, it's got to stay hydrated.
Yes, very true.
All right then.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, there we are.
Season 2, episode 1,
Complete.
complete.
Sorry it wasn't as a ray of sunshine, rainbows and butterflies, but that's the reality of our life at the moment.
Yeah, it's good to be honest.
It is. It's all
Yeah.
what this podcast is all about.
It is, because people might listen to that and think, do you know what? Yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the end, we'll have, by the end of season 2,
Oh, yeah.
we'll be raring to
Oh,
go.
yeah. We will.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got really hungry all of a sudden.
Okay, on that note, yeah, cool. Well, stay tuned. Cool episodes coming this season. Big and better.
And if there are any topics that you would like us to discuss,
Hit us up.
or if you have any guest suggestions as well,
Yeah.
then please do let us know.
Like, follow and subscribe, please. Thank you.
Nice, good. Danny's going to love that.
Yeah, I'm going to chuck that in.
Yeah.
Give us a 5-star review if you want.
Please do.
All right, cool. Going now.
Cool. And remember,
Keep saying how it is.